It's another beautiful year, another beautiful Saturday. And I want to wish each and every one of us a wonderful, a blessed, a purpose laden year. Welcome to 2025. I welcome everyone to this beautiful year where we will do outstanding and amazing things, both individually and in our respective positions of responsibilities. Thank you so much for being a part of Y.W.W.B initiative in the year 2024. This discussion platform took off on the 15th of June 2024. And need we say that it was a year that was loaded with so much healing and empowerment. We had so much to learn. We had so much to heal from. It was a year that was so beautiful on this discussion platform that testimonies abound to that. Thank you so much for coming with us into 2025. And I want to say that as our custom is, we once we join the live, we tell you to tell us where you're joining us from so we can appreciate you and welcome you. Thank you so much once more. And the young women and wives with burdens and blessing, we now have our Facebook platform. Yay! So until we are able to meet the terms and conditions of the platform to showcase live or to come live, we will be tagging the platform while having a discussion on my personal platform. So the discussion will be holding on this my personal platform, and also on the initiative platform. Please, if you have not started following the page or you have not made us your friend, please go right away and immediately after this broadcast, of course, this live, of course, and follow the young women and wives with burdens and blessings. And then there is an hyphen where we have Y.W.W.B on Facebook. Welcome once more. And already my people are here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. I can see Omolara Libra Shoni and I can see Henry Chimela Melody Eze. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been an amazing new year. We're already on the 4th of January, so the year has kicked off already. And today we are kicking off the year with on our discussion platform with a very, very helpful topic. As we go into the year, we want to go into the year prepared and to face the year with everything that we have got. Thank you so much once more for being here. And please tag your friends, invite your friends, let them come. It's a year that we're all doing it together. It's a joint thing. We are all doing it together. So while we wait for you to tag your friends, please go tag your friends, tag your friends, tag your friends. I want to start tagging my friends also. Tag your friends, tell them to come and be a part of, there's this beauty in starting off with something new. So lucky you, blessed you, favored you. You are starting off with us on the very first live, on our very first live. Thank you so much, Olabisi Rachel. Welcome to 2025. Yes, everyone. Keep joining. I can see Bola Tito Lizzie. Good to see you, ma. Thank you so much for doing 2024 with us, and welcome to a very beautiful and blessing-laden 2025. And I can see Henry is joining us from Ogun State, Nigeria. Thank you. I can see Aigbe Edith. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We're going to welcome everyone first before we go into today's topic. Let's just welcome everyone. It's good seeing us all after, we've gone on break. And so let's just keep welcoming everyone. we'll go into the topic of today, but let's just keep welcoming everyone. Thank you so much for being a part of today's live. Welcome you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Yes, 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 we are here. We are here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. So as we kick off the year, we are kicking up with a very, usually people will say, okay, I'm so used to, talking about goal setting and all that. And at the end of, New Year resolution and all that. And see, I'm no longer doing the New Year resolution thing. It doesn't work. I lose steam somewhere along the line. It actually doesn't work for me. Okay, fine. But the question is, do you need to have your year prepared? Yes. The answer is yes. I want to say thank you, Olabisi, for joining us from Nigeria. Thank you, Henrietta, joining us from Lagos. Thank you so very much. Thank you. So the topic we're discussing today says creating a blueprint for a purpose-driven year. Creating a blueprint for a purpose-driven year. And for someone who works or have worked and still work in the construction industry, the blueprints is very common. It's a common term or common terminology, I would say, that is widely used in the construction industry. So you want to say blueprints? Okay, what was a blueprint? So so you might actually feel that, oh, okay, maybe she decided to use that word because she has experience in construction. Well, for me, maybe yes, maybe not. But blueprints, blueprint is very, very vital to us who are in the construction industry because it helps us actually gain clarity, and helps us have a clear scope when it comes to any form, be it building, construction, road construction, any form of construction whatsoever, because it actually stipulates, or rather give clarity to what the design of what we are embarking on, whatever project we are embarking on. The blueprint is a clear picture design of the project we are embarking on. So I would say, he said, a blueprint is a reproduction of a technical drawing. That is for the terminologies for those of us who are listening and in construction. Okay, I'm just trying to not be too much. He said a blueprint is a reproduction of a technical drawing or engineering drawing using a contact print process or light sensitive sheet. So most times you see when you get those days, well, technology has changed so many things now. Those days we had this light, very light prints, rather, it just looks like polythene, where we have, the architects use stencils and they draw and sketch on that particular material, and there they give clarity on what the design would look like. So now when we talk about creating a blueprint, we're talking about you creating the design of how your own purposeful year would look like. So that is what we are looking at today. So we're not talking about goal setting. Oh no, I'm not talking New Year resolution. No, we're talking about how you creating your own blueprint, how your year would look like. That is what we're talking about today. And in layman terms, a blueprint is a guide for making something. So your blueprint for the year is your guide for making what or how you want your year to be like. Thank you so much, Sister Rila Ikide. Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much, Olugbemisola Ajiboye. Welcome, ma. And also, thank you so much, Onyemechi. Onyemechi, thank you so much for joining us in this new year. I'm so excited. The excitement is really overflowing that I'm kind of going more into appreciation, greeting, and all that. So thank you so much for joining us in this new year. Now, for this topic, creating a blueprint for a purposeful year. We are in 2025 already. We are in 2025 already. You will see me, because I want to be specific and actually meet the need that we are looking at for this topic. That is why you can see me with my book points that I'm actually looking at, because meeting the need is essential. Now, what areas are we looking at when we're talking about, meeting, creating a blueprint? You want to create your own blueprint. What are the things that have, what areas should you be looking at? One of the areas I believe you should be looking at is understand who you are yourself. Understand you as a person. What kind of a person are you? What are your values? What kind of personality are you? What kind of personality are you? And what are your values? Because you don't go into creating a blueprint without, by discarding the person that will implement the blueprint. It's just like in construction. You don't go into designing without consulting the client. The client will give you the perspective of what they want. What a client wants, the client will give to you. So you don't go into creating a blueprint without consulting the client. You as a person, you are the client in the blueprints you are going to create for the year. Yes, some of us have had to, maybe at the end of 2024, some of us have gone on our retreats and set up our own personal goals and aspirations, resolutions, whatever it is that you have decided to call it for the year 2025. You have set that up. So for us today, we decided to call it a blueprint. It is not too late to create that blueprint. And it is not too late to amend and adjust your blueprint. So how important is having a blueprint? Like we said earlier, a blueprint is a guide, your guide about something. So how important is creating a blueprint for you? We said Happy New Year some days back. For me, I was thinking to myself, I said, wow, it's already 4th of January and we entered into the new year like yesterday. So the year is running. The year is running. The year is running. How are you planning your year? What are the things that you have marked to do in this year? What are your aspirations? So we're going to start by saying that, to create a blueprint, you must have a scope. You must have a scope. What areas? Because sometimes you don't pack so many things into. You don't actually have so many things in your plate. If sometimes when you have so many things in your plate, you end up not achieving them. So what is your blueprint like? What is the scope of your blueprint looking like? So one of the things that you must be deliberate about setting intentional goals. Setting intentional goals. That's one of the things that you must do that align with your core values. Because really, what I found out is that most times we set goals because we saw another person's own. We say, okay, I saw what my sister or my brother or my friend said they were going to achieve for the year, they want to do for the year. So I went ahead and I wrote down my own goals in alignment with their own. No. What are your core values? What are the values that you stand for? What are the values that guide your life? The thing is that when we create our own blueprint based on the values that guide us, our core values, we tend to achieve more. So in this new year, you are not setting goals just, by mere words. You are not creating your blueprints just by words or by comparison or by extraction from another person's own. So what are your values? What are the values that guide you? You are going to create your blueprint from the values that guide you. Because when you are able to create your blueprint from the values that guide you, you will, at the end of the day, achieve much more. And also, you are going to develop a clear vision for the year ahead. In creating your blueprint, you're going to develop a clear vision for the year ahead. To develop a clear vision for the year ahead. While towards the end of the year, the admin of the initiative, we had our retreats. And when we had our retreat, we set our blueprints based on the need of where we want to see the initiative in the year 2025, and what we want to see achieved by the initiative in the year 2025. But individually, we also went back, or I went back to set, to create a blueprint, for ourselves for the year. So creating your blueprints and must ensure that you create your blueprint based on your core values. For me, I have my core values. There are values that guide me. And so I outlined my core values. What are my core values? I outlined my core values. I outlined what I actually would want to achieve in the year. And I try to see how they align with my core values. Because really, the thing is that I found out that when you write goals, and just write goals for writing sake, okay, by this year, I want to do this, I want to do this. Then, the principles and the rules that guide goal setting, they must be clear, they must be measurable, they must be concise, they must be, and all that. But if you find out that you would have actually, spent a quarter of the year and you have lost steam or you have lost interest, because most of the things that you wrote down were things that were extracts from another person's suggestions or ideas, and not really from your own values. Because when you set your blueprint from your own core values, you actually achieve more. And then it also helps you to develop a clear vision for the year ahead. It helps you develop clear vision for the year ahead. And another thing also is that you are able to, in creating a blueprint for your year, for a purpose, full year, you are building habits that support your purpose. You must be deliberate to build habits that support your purpose. So building habits that support your purpose. And let me see, listen, this is what I jotted down in building habits, that I said habits and routines that support your larger goals can create lasting change. They can create a lasting change. So in building blueprints for a purposeful year, you must be intentional about what your core values are. What are your core values? So that you don't come to the first quarter of the year or half of the year and you're like, what have I achieved? What have I achieved? You would be in a lost state if you do not or did not set your blueprint to go in line with what your core values are. Now, when you do that, your blueprint also is enhanced and productive. Let me put it that way, because you are able to look at yourself and look at habits that can affect your blueprint, the blueprint that you have created. Habits that can affect it. You know yourself very well. You know habits that can affect it. Now, for instance, as I know myself. as a person. I know how I can easily, lose interest in a thing if it has nothing, if it is not, something that has to do with me being involved manually. I once told someone, how I'm not very good with a particular thing. And she was like, no, you should be. I said, see, I understand my strength. I understand what I'm able to do. I understand where I am weak and I understand where I'm strong. And that is why I have been able to maximize my strength in implementing my visions each yearly. So that at the end of the day, I don't compare my visions with another person's own. I don't start to cry or feel that I have not achieved, or feel that I have not achieved anything for the year. Okay. So now, in creating your blueprints, what is the purpose? What is the purpose? We talk about understanding your core values. You also have to define this purpose and the scope. The blueprint you are creating. Why are you creating the blueprint? What purpose is it meant to serve? And then you have to be specific in the scope. You have to be specific in the scope. For example, for those of us who work in construction, when we want to, draw a plan, what we call a blueprint for a house. Okay, is the house a bungalow? Is it a story building? What purpose or what use will the house be put? Then, am I trying to am I building the house for for residential, for my sole use in terms of living, or I want to rent it? So those are the things that will go into defining the amenities and infrastructures that will be included in the design or blueprint for the whatever proposed building I have in mind. So the same thing is applicable to us. So in creating a purpose, a blueprint for a purpose-driven year, you must be coincide to to have the purpose and the scope. So what are you trying to achieve? What is the scope? What is it covering? What is the scope your blueprint you want your blueprint to cover? Then another thing is that in creating your blueprint, you need to learn to gather information. You need to learn to gather information that will be useful for your blueprint. Gather information. While I was writing my blueprint for the year, one of the things that I had in mind I had to do was to actually, because I sew, as in I sew clothing. So one of the things I had in mind was that I studied the environment I'm in. And because those of us who live abroad, we feel that, okay, because of the seasons, some people cannot wear, where will I be sewing Ankaras or sewing native or traditional wear when they cannot wear it in the, in a particular season, let's say during the winter. During the winter, nobody can wear the Ankara. But that is not true. Because for that problem of, I cannot wear my native or traditional attire during the winter season, someone, you have created a vacuum for a problem solving, situation. So now, these days you find people wearing their Ankara even in the winter. Because all you are trying to do is to protect yourself from being exposed to cold. So what do? You go about accommodating your traditional attire with thermal wears. So I thought to myself, I said, okay, now in doing this, in creating the blog, okay, this is what I want. Okay, I want to do. Okay, so and I decided, okay, create a niche. Someone called me and gave me a very powerful advice. I said, creating a niche. So I started to create a niche. Okay, I love to sew, but what kind of thing do I want to sew? Can you see now? So I'm trying to draw. One of the goals I want to achieve is what, to have, a brand that has to do with, that will actually maximize my knowledge as someone who knows how to sew. Don't let me say a tailor. As someone who knows how to sew, so that I can maximize this knowledge and I implement it into productive and earning, ability for me for the year. So I said to myself, okay, then I had a breakdown. So that means that, okay, the purpose for which I want to do this, okay, I want to be able to have an extra or another source of earning apart from what, by my 9 to 5, as they put it. So you must what? There must be purpose. Your purpose, your blueprint must have purpose and clarity. Must have purpose, must have scope. So what is the scope? What are you trying to achieve by it? Then you have to determine what is the scope? How far is it going to go? And for me, in that situation, I'm like, okay, is it going to be, the scope I want to cover? Do I want to make it a quarterly thing, or is it to retail or wholesale? You understand what I'm saying? So in building your blueprints, you must actually determine what the purpose and scope of your blueprints, and then you must be able to gather information. So for me, what I did was, in gathering information in that aspect of my blueprint, which is a part of of my blueprint for the year, I went online. I started and I started following brands that are into the aspects of sewing that I want to actually make money or earn out of for this year. So you will see that if I did not have a blueprint, if I did not decide to have a guide for the year, if I did not decide to have a guide for the year 2025 concerning a particular area, I would not have been able to have a clear blueprint for it. And now, the information I have garnered in the last 4 days concerning this area or aspect of earning that I want to go into is actually voluminous. If I was not purposeful in setting out or creating a blueprint, I would not have had the access to this level of clarity or information. So you do what? You gather information. So after I have determined or defined the purpose and the scope of my that's what, to gather information. So that is what we do. For example, like I will actually always use my professional knowledge as a construction person. When the first thing that in determining the scope and the purpose of something, your first meeting with the client when it comes to construction work or design is the client will give you the perspective of what he or she wants, and then you go and garner information concerning it, because the purpose for the use and everything the person will tell you. It doesn't end there, but you go and gather information to the extent to which they have giving you clarity on. So in creating a blueprint for a purpose-driven year, I say define your purpose and scope for that blueprint. Then you gather information. And then there's one other thing I also want to include, that sketch your ideas. If you have getting information, sketch your ideas, put your ideas into work. For example, I want to go into beauty accessories. In the tailoring aspect, let's say hair accessories. Then I broke it down into hair accessories. Is it hair accessories for adults, or for children? And if it is a combination of both, you understand? So I garnered information relating to that. Then I sat down and said, okay, what in these hair accessories or beauty accessories, for starters, which ones do I want to start with? And I said, well, sketching. The sketching does not necessarily mean that you must draw, but started what, noting them down and being specific, giving dimension, giving size. How is it going to look like? So in creating your blueprint, you must, one, define the purpose and the scope of that blueprint, and then you must also, number two, gather information, and then you will sketch the ideas that you have in creating your blueprint. You sketch your ideas. There's something I want to say, that having direction as to how the year should look like may look like whatever will come, whatever will be. Yes, that might be what you have in mind, but sometimes whatever will be may not be if you don't throw light to what you want to do. It's just like, so you would somehow be like a man grappling in the dark for your way. And there's something I want to say. When you have a blueprint created already, when you have a blueprint that you have created already, it is easy for you to take action and move. And then as you go, you have an open mind towards what? Refining and defining and putting touches to your blueprints. I will use construction as an example. When we start out in most construction projects, we have a blueprint, like the drawing, the design that the client wants, and then we start implementing. But as the project progresses, you have what we call, inclusion and exclusions, where you have, additional works. Okay, the clients might, probably maybe travel, have got to somewhere and saw it's something that he would like to implement or add to his project or his building. Then comes back and says, oh, I see, I think we can add this. And then it is the architect or the engineer goes back and looks into how that can be incorporated. The same thing happens to creating a blueprint. You do not have a finished blueprint from the beginning. You do not. If you wait for a finished blueprint, you will not be able to take action. You will not even take action. You will not take action. So in creating a blueprint for a purpose-driven year, you do what you got. You define the purpose. So define what is your purpose for the year. What is your purpose for the year? Like for the initiative, we like we will say we're a people of faith. We are not a people of religion. We're people of faith. So we got our own direction from Ephesians chapter 1 verse 18 and 19. And that means that he has given us a hearing ear and a seeing eyes. So to share what we are going to share is what we have won. And it's such a beautiful thing. I want to just say a big thank you to the admin, because we have the year set out already. So we have topics of discussion for the entire year. However, we go as whatever it is that comes up in the year, we do what? We try to incorporate it. So in creating a blueprint, be ready. Sketch your ideas. See, let's make it a habit. I know with the advent of technology and everything, people don't they kind of like pushing writing things down aside. Sketch your ideas. Be very intentional about sketching your ideas. Now, as you are doing this, you are gathering information to be used. And you are creating your blueprint by that. And as you are gathering information, you are gathering resources, you are getting everything that you need for this. Now, I want to say something. In gathering information and everything, look within what you have. Look within what the resources that is available to you at that moment. So in creating your blueprint, look within the resources that is available to you at that moment. You will want to build a house. For instance, I would like to use that. And you have a plot of land. And you know that, okay, you have money to start to build something on that plot of land. Definitely, your blueprint will not be a mansion. Because there will be dimension and specification to cover, that available land that you have. So, in creating your own blueprint, please look within. We've talked about look at your core values. What are your core values? Create your blueprint from your core values. Then look within the resources that is available to you in creating your blueprint. Start with the resources that is available to you. Yes, you are hopeful. You have billions in the year. You have millions, trillions in the year. But as we speak, what are the resources that are available to you? Start with that. Then expand as resources become available to you. Then another thing is that as you're doing that, identify or be. I know that we as people of faith, or really, when it comes to religion, we are very. We don't actually always mention problem or difficulties. But in sketching your blueprint, you must be what? You must give room to foresee difficulties and problems or challenges that will come up that will affect or tamper with your blueprint. So you have to identify that. What are the potential obstacles that would actually affect your blueprint, the blueprint you have created? So in creating your blueprint, give room for write down potential obstacles that will affect your blueprint. Write down potential obstacles that will affect your blueprint. The reason I'm so particular about this is that in as much as we have a lot of women making impact in our current, in our climb, and in society, we also have women who are just sitting and allowing and just waiting for things to fly. Yes, we have women who are just sitting and waiting for things to fly. Let anyhow, and whatever it will be, will be. See, whatever will be, will not be. And then you find out that you have not played your part in creating, the picture that you want. You have not played your part in creating the picture that you want. Then somewhere along that you become frustrated with another person when you see them becoming when you see the fruit of their what they have created for themselves manifesting. You become angry, you become envious, you become, you start to say things that are not okay. But why not start your year by creating your own blueprint? Why not start your year by creating your own blueprint? In a matter of 27 days, January will be over. What part of your blueprint, the blueprint that you have created, would you say you have achieved? What part of the building that you sketched, your building, your blueprint, what part of it would you say you have achieved in putting up? What part of it? So in creating your blueprint also, when you are gathering information, make sure that you are like I said, you are creating your blueprint from your current or available resources. You make sure you are creating your blueprint for current or available resources, and then you envisage obstacles. What are the potential obstacles that will come your way? And then also try to set priorities. Set priorities. See, it is easy to say, this is what I want to do. Then I will do it. These are my plans. Yes, you might have a plan. But how detailed is your plan? That is why when you pick a building plan, you will see details. And these details are, you will see each section. You will see floor plan, you will see elevation, you will see section, you will see even the compartments, the rooms, and everything that will be used. That is how your blueprint should be. So you pick your personal life. What is the blueprint that what are the blueprint that you've drawn for your health, your personal life, health, career, Then you pick, if you have people who are depending on you, maybe you are a man or a woman, you have children, you also have to do blueprint. In fact, there's something that I do with my kids. There's something that I do with my kids that initially there was a time I was kind of like frustrated with it, but consistency has helped me. So every year, towards the end of the year, I ask them to write their goal for the new year. I ask them to write their goal for the new year. I ask them to write their goals for the new year. And, because of their age, I tell them to section their goals into personal, spiritual, academic, and, for their family life and all that. Their roles as children in the family. So at the end of the year, we sit down and then we analyze each part of this aspect of where we have set goals and what we have achieved in it. And I started it includes every of my child, from the first to the last. And I sat down with my children some days back, and my daughter, my 9-year-old daughter, okay, when she set that goal, she was 8 years. When she set the goal for 2024, she was 8 years. So I asked her, okay, now your goals, can we look at it and assess it? So something caught my attention, and then I saw the joy in when she was talking, and she said, in her financial life, so it's in her financial goal. She said she was going to, though she had planned that, okay, from her pocket money, she was going to be saving 100 naira every week. You understand? But that, things became expensive in Nigeria. And then, mommy, you used to give me 3,000 naira as pocket money. That was what she said to me. So I could not, I could not save. I kept quiet. I didn't say anything. But that when you now increase the pocket money, daddy told us we started doing ajo. This street, there's a man that collects ajo. So we were doing ajo. And then, that she was able to save 5,400 naira. So that she's so happy, that she was so happy when she collected her job money. She said, is she the one that have saved this money? Now, notice, when she set her financial goal in 2023, towards the end of the year, she had discouragement because she was not able to achieve the savings that she had planned. From January to September, she didn't achieve it. But she had it written down already as a blueprint. So in October, between October to December, she saved 5,400. So between October, I'm a bit loud here. Maybe it's off. So between October to December, she was able to save 5,400. So what am I trying to say? You might have a blueprint. When you have a blueprint, and which is set from your own values and your own core values. At the beginning, it might seem as if you are not achieving them and it's not working. But because it is something that you have set from your own kind of values, when it will come a time that it will be so alive in you that when the resources to achieve or implement them come, you will achieve them. Then she said something to me under her spiritual goal. I'm not trying to use my a child for you. And my 9-year-old child, she said under her spiritual goal, she had promised herself that she was going to read at least 4 books of the Bible for the year. Don't forget, we have about 66 books of the Bible. She told herself that this year 2024, the last year 2024, when she was writing her goal, spiritual goal, she was going to read 4 books of the Bible for the year. Then she said something that touched me. She said, "Mommy, I read the book." He said, "Mommy, the book of Psalm is the best book of the Bible." You understand now? So no, it is not. I'm just trying to tell you how I'm using my own child as an example to the impact of creating a blueprint. You understand what I'm saying now? So now, so you have to what he said when you're gonna set priority, ensure to always prioritize. Set priorities. Now you have defined the purpose and the goals. You have gathered your information. You have sketched your ideas. Now it is time for you to what to do what to create your blueprint. It is not time for you to what to create your blueprint. Now you create your blueprint, and in creating your blueprint, when you are creating your blueprint, be specific about. Don't forget we said something earlier. We said understand your strength, your weakness, and do what in creating your blueprint. For instance, now you can't take Rosemary's blueprint because Rosemary is able to express herself in different dimensions. For example, I can paint, I can sew clothes, I can make hair, I can do this. If you are not, if you cannot replicate my own blueprint, because in this strength and where I have strength, and I have resources, I was able to create the blueprint for my for myself for the year. You cannot create your own blueprint from my own blueprint because you may not have that ability or resources to create your blueprint. So, and there's something I also want to say. You can create your blueprint. Now you have started with the creation of your blueprint. In creating your blueprint, you can ask architects that create blueprints. In creating your blueprint, there is no, you will clean and clean. You will clean, you will sketch, you will drop ink, and then you will clean. You will align again. You will check if the dimension is correct. You will check it if this is correct. And then you go ahead again. You draw. Oh, you come, oh, no, this place. You adjust. That is how blueprints work. That is how the blueprints work. And see, your blueprint must not be, like I said earlier, completed in January. But you have started it. So you will keep adjusting and editing and erasing and correcting and accommodating and and all that, your blueprint. So for a purposeful year, for a purpose-driven year, what you just must ensure to do is to ensure that you have a blueprint for the year. Ensure your blueprint is set out for the year. Ensure that your blueprint is set out for the year. And please, I want to say something. That as women, we have to be intentional. Last year, when we were running up, I said something. I said, if you are not intentional, if you are not stubborn, you will not be able to break some things as a woman. If you are not intentional, if you're not stubborn, and when I mean stubborn, I mean stubborn. Because stubbornness is needed for consistency. Stubbornness is needed for consistency, and consistency is needed for implementation. If you are not consistent, you will not implement a lot of things. And implementation is needed for what? For you to be what? To impact, to be able to make impact. Believe you me, if all you are living for is for yourself, if all you are living for is for yourself, and you don't have a blueprint for impact, even you yourself, you will get to a particular point and then you are just bored. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and my friend was like, oh, he's just tired and he feels that it's time to go into other things. And I laughed and I smiled. And I told her, I said, 2 years ago, I got to that bus stop. I had done construction for 15 years. And I said to myself, but I began to, I don't realize that construction is not it's not a calling for me. It's not a passion. It's work. It was a job. Let me put it that way. But because I ensure to do due diligence, to do everything, everything that my hand finds well, I am deliberate about it. So when he told me, I said, okay, what is the blueprint? So what are you doing about it? Because that you are tired of something and you want to move in something does not mean that you will just dump that thing and then move. I said no. I started to share with him on how I went about it and what I did and how I'm still refining the process up to now. And at the end of the day, he was saying, Rosemary. I said, yes. I said, that is me for you. And the reason I have been able to keep momentum or maintain steam is because everything that I plan within my core values, and I also plan within what the resources that I have, what are my ability, my resources, I plan within that. So he was like, but families. I said, see, let me say something. I said, see, family is on their own. But as a person, I just believe that if the person, you as an individual, if you are whole, if you are healthy, if you are following purpose and achieving purpose, see, every other area of your life will fall into place. Like they say, you can get people to help you function in areas, in other positions or that you carry. Let me put it that way. If you are a wife, the only thing that maybe even someone else can even do it, that they will say sleep with your husband. If the husband is listen, that one, but that's not what we are talking about today. So food or anything, whatever it is you can ever think of, you can get someone to do it. Then when it comes to your children, you can get people to do a lot of things for your children. But in terms of your person, no one can do, if no one can do as much for you that will make you be a person of impact than you yourself. So in creating a blueprint, you must look within your core values and then also within resources that you have, because so many people always have, people tend to have a lot of complaints about why they should not start some things. Okay, I remember when I wanted to start this under the initiative, to bring the initiative, the discussion platform, on live on social media. One of the things I said to myself is that, most times people have makeup artists, they have a beautician, they have this one, they have this one. But because of the values that I have, I said to myself, I said, Rosemary, start it now and build from there. So there might be sometimes I come and I'm not looking good enough for whoever, but I'm looking at what I'm out for is, have I delivered the message that I wish to deliver? So another thing is that one thing that earlier on we talked about looking at your daily routines. You would have when you have your blueprint will always be there, but challenges will come on the way. Problems will come. In fact, there will be a time. There was something I wrote earlier on my page. I said, dear woman, see, even if it requires you shouting and screaming and crying and wailing and everything, but don't dump it. Don't dump it. See, your blueprint, because when you have a drawn blueprint, it is within you. You can see it. So even when sometimes you are not encouraged, you feel down, whatever it is that you are, you stay away from it. But then somehow, while you are moving around your room or your living space, you will see it. You go back to it again. So that's why I always tell people to ensure that they put themselves in such an encourage to always have open themselves up to what, to motivations and encouragement. To motivation and encouragement. Then you pick up your blueprint again and move. Watch your daily routines, the things you do on a daily basis. How do they impact you achieving your blueprint? Last year, when like I said, when the discussion platform was to take off, the first presentation, or rather the first live that we had was, I don't know what I did. We had, in fact, the entirety of June, I don't think I what I did. Let me just put it that way. But to now have people come to tell me that topics that I treated in that June, that was treated rather on the discussion platform in that June, were actually beneficial to them. One of the topic was the beginning. And another topic was, I think the topic was, when you are stuck, what do you do? When you are stuck, what do you do? How to go from the point you are stuck and move. So, even though there was a blueprint drawn, to run the discussion platform from June to December, yet I encountered, challenges thereby. But because there is a blueprint, it became a guide. See, we don't let us be too religious in the way we do things. And when I mean religious, I mean that, when you do, when you set a blueprint, you commit it into God's hands. God will not set the blueprint for you. I know God will not set the blueprint for you. So you are bound to, to meet challenges on the way. And I saw a story on LinkedIn about the eagle, and I was wowed. So now I'm talking about challenges, how, challenges is part of of accomplishing your blueprint. And the story about the eagle said that the eagle is, has this thing to live for 70 years. But when the eagle clocks 40, it needs to go like a form of hibernation and to shed its, its features. The features, or rather the features that it had carried for 40 years, in order to be able to progress into the 42nd to the 70th year. And it was said that process is a very excruciating and painful one, because the eagle had to put itself through pain to be able to shed, these features. And one of the things is that it will keep hitting its beak on hard surface continuously for weeks. It will keep hitting its beak for weeks, until the beak, the impact of the pressure from the hitting comes, and then the beak will fall off by itself. So you can imagine when it has to bear the pain of about 3, 4, 5 weeks just to get the beak off. But because the eagle knows that it has the capacity of the net to live for extra 30 years, it will rather go through the pain of, or the excruciating pain of weeks, to achieve, to gain the glory or the strength or the years of 30. And when I read that story, I was, whew. So I said to myself, I have drawn the blueprint for myself for 2025. So even when there will be challenges, there will be potential problems, there will be problems, but I must do what I was only look at the years ahead. Look at the years ahead forward while going through those challenges and pain. So Then another thing is that when you have implemented, learn to do what to, like I mentioned, add motivational elements and inspirational reminders. Always though, add that to remind yourself why you set this blueprint in the first place. Why did I set this blueprint in the first place? Why? Why did I set it? Always, so encourage yourself. Always set the motivational and elements and inspirational reminders. Or as you are as you have created your blueprints and you are implementing your blueprints. Then somewhere along the line, learn to give time for review and reflect. Time for you to review, to reflect, and to revise your blueprint. Regularly review your blueprint. Regularly reflect on your blueprint and regularly revise your blueprint. Now, like I said, I have in my blueprint, for one source of earning to be sewing, beauty accessories, hair accessories, beauty accessories generally for women. And I said, okay, for women. And I created a niche for women. And I said for women. So somewhere along the line, and I have given myself, okay, by the end of the first quarter, I'm supposed to sit and assess that. And then reflect on it, review it, and revise it. So don't make it look like you are not, because of our human nature, because of who. That's why we said you have to look at the kind of person that you are. The situation that will come. There's every tendency that you might lose. You might things that will happen around you might kind of bring a little halt, HALT, to the implementation of your blueprint. However, the fact that you have your blueprint with you, you can always adjust it and proceed.